Okay. Hi, everyone. I mean, we're very excited for this round. We have a new infrastructure. We have a new webcams to to make it worth your while. Um, so the last few weeks have been very, very good to us. One of the things that we realized, especially outside, was that there was so much opportunity despite what's happening. And now there's everybody knows, and we keep on sharing this to the entire alumni that there's a major disconnect behind Wall Street and Main Street. And because the Fed is always there, we felt that there's still going to be several trading alpha and opportunities that you could be doing day in and day out. Now, one of the biggest challenges for us is actually not the buying. It's usually on the selling. Do you sell half? Do you sell everything? And what happened to us was that the windows for us was very, very short. So we were looking at smaller R's in terms of our return expectation. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today is Bryan here is going to be showing you guys what we've been doing, including in the Philippines, and how he's been approaching it also from a US standpoint and trying to participate in all these alpha that he sees every single day. Okay. So today is not just about momentum. There's also going to be setups also from an intraday perspective. So it would be an idea for you on how you could be entering it from an intraday perspective as well. Okay. So Bri, all yours.
Thanks, Edmund. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing okay. Taking off from what Edmund said, it has been a confusing year. So what we're seeing in the Main Street is not actually similar to, connected to what's happening in Wall Street. As you see in my picture here, amidst the backdrop of rioting and protests, the bull market is actually hiding, and you have to be able to look at the right place to be able to find it. Um, so today I'll be showing you the whole afternoon. I'll be showing you a couple of simple steps, which is usually based on a visual process to easily capitalize on what we call the magnitude portion of price moves. So before anything else, I'll show you this one connected to the disconnect. You have the U.S. market, U.S. president touting a bull market, and half of the country because of CNN showing all that negative stuff. So basically, this is bullish for me because I'm thinking that half of the country is short the market. So when a lot of market players are not in the market, probably they don't like the president or what. This is also fuel for stocks to go up. And what we've seen recently is that legendary traders are favorites, especially Stan Druckenmiller, um, underperforming the market versus a newbie like Dave Portnoy, who's making a lot of money today. So the lesson is, as we've always said, there are a lot of things that we really do not know, a lot of unknowns that we do not know. And we really can't depend on what we know to attack this market. But at the end of the day, we are looking at the same price. And we can use that visually, we can use that. We can use our knowledge of price action, how it looks, and how it should act to be able to take advantage and capitalize. So basically, what we try to do is capitalize on the magnitude portion of price action. So the moment we see it, again, it's a visual system. We have to be alert and be patient enough to wait for the proper entry that I will show you later, which is a setup-based process. So here, we try to take advantage of this
Magnitude leg.
magnitude leg, those magnitude legs. with the use of, on a daily basis, slingshot setups and boomers. And later I'll show you how to take advantage of it in an intraday basis also. Wait. So before we proceed with the system, the logic behind this trading this magnitude is, I'll give you an analogy. This year, we saw the prices of face masks skyrocket as people see the need for it because of the pandemic. And regardless of any price, face masks and other cleaning materials were overbought. And people hoard these face masks at any price. So the mad rush to buy is similar to that. It's what's happening to a magnitude. People see the value in a stock, so they blast off and bid the stock at any price and buy as much of it at any price. So the risk of this trading magnitude is actually you being the last fool to buy. So if you're somebody who has no system in buying these things, you just buy FOMO. Because of FOMO, you just buy at any price. You'll be at risk of losing a lot, because buying randomly means exiting it randomly also. So with the setup-based system, you'll be able to set a selling level or exit level before you can buy a stock. Before you enter a stock, you should be able to know where you will exit after. So the mindset in capitalizing magnitude is to be able to control all the steps in the trade, even the selling in all steps of the trade, because you're trying to make money using a buy high, sell higher approach, because this is momentum, and you're trying to make money out of it within only a short period of time, within minutes to a few days. So precision is really key, and discipline is really key here. So by getting that discipline system and setting up those rules that you can repeat, you can just keep on repeating it, rinse and repeat, just keep on doing it and try to accumulate as much as profits, even small profits on a day-to-day basis. So mechanize the execution, and every step you are in control. You have to know what to buy, where to buy, how much to buy, and where to sell. All these rules have to be set even before you trade, because these momentum stocks move really very fast. So if you're still thinking when to exit a stock after buying it, you'll be in big trouble. So first, what to buy. Now you can do your own homework. Find your own fast movers, find your own needles in the haystack, or just refer to a proven stock picker. In my case, I've surrendered the fact that the CTS Global Research are exceptional stock pickers. So if I wrote that article in the Kalum website, Super Performance Stocks. I just refer to that, which they update from time to time. And I just use that list and just visually wait for the setups to happen. I don't debate it anymore if it has the strength to go up. They've done their homework already. Or what you can do also is do the reverse. Create your filter using technical filters. Just as long as prices stay above 10-day EMA, you can participate using the slingshots and the boomers, the momentum setups. But the risk of it is that it's not filtered enough for you to have confidence that it's not a pump and dump. So most often, if you just see people just tweeting what's this speculative stocks, and you have no reference if they have the track record to in stock picking, then you'll be having a difficult time in filtering which is which one is going to be sustainable, and which one is not. So in my case, I just refer to the CTS Global Research List. So that's what to buy and where to buy, where, when, and how much to buy. I just used the standard setups that we use, and you can take advantage of the momentum trades or the magnitude move of the stocks using 2 time frames. First, on a daily basis, you can use the slingshots and boomers, and on an intraday basis, you can use a gap and go approach or try to wait for midday coils around. Usually, in our time, it's 2 a.m. 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. towards closing. So on an intraday basis, early in the open, amateurs play. So you use that gap and go on towards close, professionals play. So you try to find those coils. But remember, intraday is always, if you enter intraday, you exit intraday. So first we go with, we try to buy magnitude using daily momentum setups. So 2 setups that we have is the slingshot and the boomer, which is actually the same because essentially they are just pauses within a rapidly moving stock. Prices staying above 10-day EMA, wait for that pause, few day pauses, and then that's your setup already. Usually the pause are pausing near the high, near the top of the big range day. So as you can see here, the slingshot. So the name itself, the slingshot, it pulls back a little, then blasts off. So first, a big range day happens coming out of a big duration. So that signals a start of a big move. So usually this is triggered by catalysts like earnings, fantastic earnings, new products, anything that improves the prospects of the company. But the idea is, visually we can see that people are trading that stock. So big range day with volume. So we know that people are trading that stock already. So if you're going to trade intraday, you have to be patient to wait for the setup. So it's slingshots in the boomer. So the slingshots happen early on, and the boomers happen after the slingshots, which usually happens when ADX is above, your ADX line is above 30 already. So the standard rule is, for me, I use a 0.5% VAR. So basically for both boomer and slingshot, they are practically the same. So again, as long as within the magnitude, as long as prices stay above the 10-day EMA and they pause, it's practically boomers and slingshots. The logic is the same. As prices tighten, we try to buy as it breaks those tight ranges. Examples. Example. This comes from the list of our research. So this is Chegg. Price blasts off outside of usually a 6-month high, preferably a 1-year or all-time high. But this one blasts off out of a 6-month high. So on a daily approach, you have to wait for the setup, which you see here encircled. Couple of day pause, and I see a slingshot already. So viewing it closer, the entry is, hold on. So enter here. So this is the So this is the big move. And these two pauses stay near this big day range. And then you set your cut here, the consolidation here. So from here, set a 0.5% risk. If you have a $100,000 account, you risk 500. And then when it advances, try to ride as much as you can. But we suggest that you to be consistent. Again, this is trying to control every step of the trade. Trying to control every step of the trade. We suggest that you sell immediately at the other half at 1 hour. You can. Because most often than not, these things, magnitude moves, are not as quiet as they seem. So on a daily basis, if you can get immediately a 1 hour sell half, so that's yes, that's 60.5 minus 57.5. It's a $2.5
$3 hour.
$3 risk.
You're gonna borrow magmat.
If you have 500 at 150 thereabouts, so on the first hour, which is here around, sell half and put the other half on break even, which is here. So basically, selling half almost assures you of a win.
Yeah, I think Dane had a question also when it comes to R, especially when you're computing for R. Do you take into account the commissions and fees? The answer is also yes. But when you're in the Philippines, usually you only take it into consideration in the Philippines or if you're trading in Indonesia, because the commissions are too small outside, right?
Yes.
Just for your information, and that's the reason why when you're trading in the Philippines, you want to make sure that what you're buying, you want to be a little bit more picky, right? And I think Bryan will explain further on that end later on.
Okay. So another example is this one, Fastly. This is a boomer. So you can see, here, what you can do is buy here, set your stop here. So this is the big move, continuous move. Sorry. So this is a big move, and then a few pauses, and then try to enter here with your risk here. Same approach as Slingshot. On a daily basis, you try to buy it with 0.5% risk. Try to sell half at 1 hour. See, this is a closer picture. So buy it here, put your risk here, sell half at 1 hour, try to ride it as much as you can. Or some traders use a 10 DMA to trail stop the other half. If not, just to protect the break-even pricing. So.
Just to add lang on that end, standard selling procedure normally for us is really selling half and then trailing the balance at the 10-day EMA. But we really advise most of the traders that are, especially the ones that are trading the US market, right, is that we don't even wait for the 10-day EMA. So we really highly recommend that, especially when it's overbought markets like what's happening today, is to really sell everything by the time you hit at least 2 hour. Right? So 1 hour is non-negotiable, but usually the balance we give the traders the flexibility. But preferably, right? You want to be selling as it goes up. I mean, the nice thing I will say about this market is that there's so much opportunity every single day. And if you look at like Leonard's pick, what Bryan was sharing a while ago, lahat okay eh. So I mean, like most of
Mhm.
these stocks that Leonard and their group have been doing have been nothing short of fantastic. Eh. So I mean, but nonetheless, every day if you can keep on scalping and doing that daily trade, I think it will turn out to be excellent results also, like what we're seeing from most of our traders in for the this month of June.
Yeah, I agree. Taking off from what Edmund said, we rarely we use that 10-day EMA as a stop already, because as you know, when prices go to the 10-day EMA, there's another setup to be taken advantage of. So if you're just selling at that level, you might not be able to buy another setup at that level. So that's just one way of looking. Another one, another boomer is, you see the MACD is already on extended levels and ADX are flying. If this is a boomer, so getting a closer look.
Favorite stock.
Yeah, this is Saint Livongo, because it's sobrang niyang bait. So any setup you buy, where you buy it, just move. So again, oops, buy at this level, set your stop here, try to sell half at 1 hour, try to trail the stop at break even if you want. So selling at 1 hour assures you actually of a win already. So you will be doing a lot of these as markets rotate. You will be doing a lot of these momentum trades as markets become more quiet and more bullish maybe. As you see indices go through a duration, that's actually an impetus for rotation. So index, duration, maybe, and subsectors, the strong ones especially, could be moving. So this whole thing, you see coming out of a big consolidation, a lot of setups across the board you can take advantage of on a daily basis. Now, on an intraday basis, sometimes some of you like the catalyst of a stock and you are too excited to participate. So, a couple of simple rules before you hurt yourself. Before you hurt yourself. So, first, we can use the gap and go and the midday calls for on the day of the catalyst. For example, check. You see this big up move. Now zooming in on an intraday basis, what I use is a 5-minute intraday. So this is within the day of the big move. Okay. Every candle is 5 minutes. So why 5 minutes? The period that I'm taking advantage of is the early morning where amateurs trade, those FOMO trades that happen at least before lunch, hour, an hour and a half. So by the time it reaches an hour and a half, by using a 5-minute candles, you'll be seeing 20 candles already. So 15 minutes will be too long because as prices become volatile, you won't, that would be as precise, but 1 minute naman is too short for me. So I range about that. 5 minutes, that's what I use as standard, is a 5-minute intraday chart. So here, I enter at the fourth candle after the 3-day candle pause, 5-minute candle pause, put a risk at the bottom of the day, then try to start it. Again, intraday trades and entries are intraday exits, require intraday exits also.
But
So,
just to
go.
emphasize lang on gap and go, right? So usually you have a breakout or you have a expansion breakout usually on the follow through, right? So for example, let's say like you have a stock, for example, like in the Philippines, you have a stock, let's say like Mary Mart that you like, and then it's up 5-10%, right? And you're trying to find a way to participate. Normally what we're waiting for is we use 5 minutes for global, for US, for outside. Philippines, especially since it's only up until 1 p.m., a little bit more difficult. But I use personally 3 minutes. Okay. So on that end, usually you try to wait for like 2 day pauses, like what you have here. If you notice about Bryan's chart, after the third day pause, and then it's a small wick candle. Normally we can put you. This is correct. You can put your risk and your VAR at 0.25 at that day's low, and use, for example, at this case, 53 as your
53. Sure. 53 as a stop, around 55, 54 something at the entry. Yeah. So there. So this is an intraday basis. Another example is favorite stock also is Fortinet. So
breakout kagabi.
So when I see these things, itong mga big moves na to, I salivate. So my eyes are peeled at these things. So moving inside on a 5-minute basis, so you'll see this is a different picture. The first 3 candles are moving rapidly. So what I'll do is wait for it to really make that make that quiet range near the big move.
Can I also add? I say there's a little bit more trickiness when it comes to gap and go. So normally you want to know what the catalyst is and what you're buying. That's why we usually rely on Leonard's list when we're doing the gap and go. And when you're doing the gap and go, normally when you buy it, usually in the next 5 minutes, alam mo na dapat tama ka o hindi.
Yes.
Okay, so make sure that you're doing a time stop also. So for example, when you buy it and you're having parang nagdududa ka na kung aakit ba o hindi, usually it's probably best to square, sell it, at least tabla ka lang, and then just wait instead. Right? Because if another setup gives you, then it'll be very easy for you to buy back. You don't want to be losing, especially in gap and go.
Yes. Again, that's true. Trading the magnitude, again, it's like trying to participate in a mad rush for something, and really nobody knows where it will stop. So it's best that you try to protect yourself first, rather than thinking of the potential reward that it can give you. So trying to be strict really at what risk you're putting in is really the most important part of it. Another one, something that's foreign and probably you'll see in the news, like a Nikola stock, where you see that the chairman is pumping the stock, actually trying to pump the stock. So if you want to, you're feeling that FOMO to participate in this, just follow those simple rules that try to wait for a few pauses. If you're not able to buy this third candle, maybe up to here max, just put your risk at that quiet stop at that quiet range. If you're not able to participate in this early morning rush, maybe at the tail end, you can see coils for most of these stocks that experiencing strong move. So trying to make money out of that stock on the day of the catalyst itself, as you see here, you can have 2 options. And
I
again,
think that's fantastic. Yeah, ganda ng chart. But let me just share it to you guys. We're trying to differentiate also easy versus hard money, right? So let's say like you're having hesitancy to participate. That means it's not easy money. Okay? Usually easy money is pag tingin mo, alam mo na it's an easy setup, low risk, And then you have that potential for that huge reward also. So if you're having hesitancy in picking stocks, most likely don't do it instead. Okay, guys, this market is really trying to scalp it and trying to get as much money and easy money and not lose like substantial amounts, especially in this environment. Sorry, Bryan, go ahead.
It's okay. So there, in the Philippines, there is really not much to do except for Merrimart. As you know, what I've been trying to do in the Philippines, most of us were able to take advantage when it dropped on reversal using reversal setups. But in terms of trying to take advantage of the stronger than the market stocks, it will be very difficult because you can see only a few of it manifesting. Like even a globe this morning failed. Um, all the money, actually, all eyeballs are focused on Merrimart. So again, you can use a momentum system of trading there. After you can consider the move from the IPO day, after a few limit ups, you can use that as a pole, and you want the price in the next few days to stay within that very close range of the high when it traded 2 days ago. So what you want to see is again what we showed you, similar to our slingshots and boomers, a few pauses, then you can try to trade it when it breaks out of that white range. So final notes. So keep in mind always to have at least that certain amount of confidence, even on a visual basis, on those strong stocks that you will trade as momentum. Keep in mind that those strongly trending stocks, just as long as they stay above those 10-day moving averages, as long as the 10-day moving average is still tilted up, you have to have that confidence that when the setup show, the boomers and the slingshot show, you have to be able to confidently trade it. So until proven guilty, until proven otherwise, the trend is still intact as long as price stay above 10-day. The next one is take what the market gives you. As you can see, the market is aging already. The rally is aging. It has been rallying for 2 months, 3 months. I was tagging my trades. Part of my tags is if the market is overbought. It has been overbought for how many weeks already. So take what the market gives you. It gives you 1 hour and get it. Early in the rallies, maybe you can get away with 2 hours, but lately, unless it's really a really strong catalyst, it can give you 2 hours, but most often it gives you only 1 hour. So adjust your hours where you will sell your other half and protect your break-even price so you will be assured of it. So the lesson this 2020, despite the confusion, there is always a bull market somewhere. So you will see the hard numbers, economic numbers negative, but as always, because of these hard numbers, actually the crisis, the pandemic, actually made that assurance that the Fed will print. So with the Fed printing to protect the broad market, almost always the strong leaders, the strong ones, the strong stocks, the strong high growths comes out winners. So there.
Yeah. Can you go back a few slides? Yung sa intraday chart. Yeah. Okay.
It's one.
So yeah. Can you go one slide before, and then, okay. So I just like to emphasize 2 things that we normally don't teach, which is the gap and go and the intraday coil that Bryan showed, right? always what we're looking for is that huge gap up or that huge move. Usually it accompanies by volume, and usually there's a reason behind it. Okay. And when you're trying to enter most of these stocks because there's no daily setup, or you're trying to chase because you're late already, okay? Normally, if you go to the next slide, right, Bryan, right? So it's always two parts. You're always trying to find a way to participate after it gaps up, and then you have those quiet days or pauses that happen in between, okay? The reason why is because if you buy it and then you don't have these pauses, there's no way for you to peg your risk. That's the first and most important. So at least when it starts to pause, you have a level of risk that you can easily measure right away. Okay? Now, after these part, normally, ako, 1 hour, 2 hour, tapos na rin ako eh. So I don't even make it to this big move because I'm doing it from an intraday standpoint. Okay? Because to me, there's always going to be many entry points for you. So I'm not too worried about it, because if you're coming from an intraday, normally, all the time, we're always trying to take money off the table, especially from an intraday standpoint. Okay. Now, one thing that you normally see is that after this gaps up, and you're not sure if it's going to hold here because it's already up 50, 100%. You don't know if it's going to hold here or not. Diba? Parang Mary Mart, hindi mo alam. Is it after it goes to ceiling, will it hold at the ceiling? Right? So normally what we wait for is the intraday to confirm what we're thinking also. Because if it's already up 50%, most likely this sell-off should go all the way down, right? That's natural movement, okay? But if these things don't happen, and after it gaps up and it stays here throughout that day, and you notice that during these times, volume becomes smaller and smaller, usually there's still some form of accumulation that is still happening, okay? Now, people ask me all the time about Mart, Dito Telco, okay? Because there's very few momentum or stocks that are in play in the Philippines. And they asked me about it, and I told them both are in play, okay? In fact, Dito Telco, it's in play. It's because there's still huge volume accompanied with that huge stock price. And the reason why it's not in our priority is, one, I'm very skeptic of the insider, and two, it's coming from the bottom, meaning it's not a 52-week high kasi maraming ipit sa Dito Telco, okay? It's very different from what we saw with Mart. It's because in Mart, that stock is still fresh news in play. And if you ask me, fundamentally, there's no way I can justify it. Okay? But I'll tell you, most companies today, fundamentally, I cannot justify it also. Okay? So don't think that what you're seeing today, because some people have been asking me, is Mart a scam? But ganon, 30 billion market cap. Sabi ko, well, hindi naman siya nanloloko ng tao eh. Kasi he's not the one selling it. Okay? Now, the thing is, it's very difficult for us to convince what's right, how much should it be actually worth. And to me, what's more important, especially in a stock such as Mart, is try to look at the demand and supply situation. Okay? And that's why Bryan talked about understanding price, because price should be your final confirmation as to what people are actually looking at it or not. Okay? In fact, to be fair, in fairness to Mart, mabait ang Mart eh. Kasi yung post days tsaka yung sell-off ng Mart, especially during the quiet days, was very, very small eh. Okay? But that's why we just advise you guys to just trade at your own discretion. And if you want to participate, then it should be a great opportunity for you guys.
Edmund, maybe we can show the...
Can you show... Maybe you can show the chart of Mart.
Okay.
So Hen has a question about volume, especially in the pause. This is actually quite rare on a daily basis. Usually the pause and the volume is off. I don't remember seeing something lately where the pause had a big volume. So I'm not sure about what that is. Okay. But if the volume is usually the same size as the breakout day, what I worry is that it could be more like a 45-degree company. So people ask me, for example, like about MPI, whether MPI a few days ago was a slingshot, right? And I tell them these are my least priorities because these are, one, coming from the bottom, and two, because these are stalwart companies. Even though MPI is very, very cheap, right? These are least of my priorities. These are hard money from how I explained. Even though it went up, I think 6-7% a day, for me, these are still very hard money. The easier money is still made for Mart, in my opinion. Okay. Maybe you can show the chart. Okay.
Here. Like, can you see it?
Hindi.
Can you see it?
No eh.
Hindi.
Lumalabas yung office mo eh. Hindi ka pa nga Microsoft.
Can you
I can
click
share it
over?
online. Sure.
Okay.
I can share it online. Oops, I can't share it. Can the host give me the sharing? Okay. Ayan.
That's the job.
Fastest way to access. I won't deny. Right. So I mean, for us, even though cases such as Marymart, after this big sell-off happens and this quiet day for us, right? Para sa akin, executing this next day is actually very easy, right? Because you can already put your risk already. You can already measure your risk at these certain levels. And for us, these are no-brainers for you to execute, especially when you have huge price action and huge volume, right? A stock that's already up 400, 300, 400%, don't deny that there's already good momentum happening in these companies. Okay? Is there any other questions? No, we do not have a target price. Our target price pa nga was based on ZAR was 2 pesos. We were only looking at 2 pesos. Eh. Kaya 2 pesos tapos na kami. But nonetheless, at least yung pause, yung pullback, at least we were able to participate. Okay. So somebody asked also on Dito, consider a pause. Yes, it's also the same case. The reason why I don't like it was that it's coming from the bottom. You guys see it? It's coming from the bottom. Okay. But I won't deny that if you look at it currently, these are things that you have to take into consideration, right? Big volume and then price action. Now it's up to you if you want to participate. For us, these were least of my priority. So for me, this was hard money. That's why I didn't do anything here. Okay. So just to share with you guys, in the Philippines, it's very complicated because outside, very rare do we participate in stocks that are coming from the bottom. Okay. So you have stocks, for example, this was same thing. Okay. Same thing. Okay. The reason why for us, these are very different because if these stocks were listed in the US, this would be a big no-no for us. Okay. So all the stocks that Bryan presented and all the stocks that we listed also on the website were actually all 52-week new highs or approaching 52-week new highs. Okay. And that's our priority. Okay. These stocks that are at the bottom are not our priority outside. Okay. For us, if you're looking at it, sorry, somebody's trying to access. If you're looking at it in these stocks, early June, we were looking at a rally because we were seeing a lot of square roots, okay? And this is totally different. This will actually be next week's session on the market because we'll be talking about a little bit more about square roots and reversals, okay? So if you look at it today, parang isa pa diba? My point here is that if this was a stock listed in the US, we wouldn't even touch this, okay? Different case also because you're in the Philippines or you're trading Indonesia, so you'll see a lot of stocks look like this, okay? So SEC, Security Bank, AGI, they all look the same, okay? They all look the same because they're trying to reverse. Now, please be extra careful when you're playing reversals because not all reversals are treated the same. We always reiterate that fundamentals is equally important, okay? So make sure you understand what you're going to be buying. I'll talk more about this next week when we go into the reversals and the counter trend setups and how you guys should normally be participating in these companies. Okay, any last questions? Any other questions?
There's one question here. Why we don't use the EMA 5? Maybe I think.
No, we do.
Yeah.
I think I explained that a while ago. We always use EME5 or EMA10 depending on the degree of the slope. So
Degree of
meaning
the
if
slope, yeah.
so meaning a stock, let's say for example like Merrimart that's up 400 or 500%, or like Neo, usually EMA5 na yan eh.
Wow.
Okay, but if it's a slower 90-degree stock, for example like Fortinet, okay, like Fortinet, if you're buying it, ito 10-day EMA lang to eh. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's on a normal case environment that I was sharing a while ago. Today it's very different because today it's there's so much uncertainty in the markets today. Okay, so it's good and bad. Today it's different because it's not just overbought, but in our opinion, it's severely expensive. Okay, so that's why we're not trying to trail as much as we can. We're trying to do that daily scalp and try to take money off the table. Because if we can continuously do this every single day and have very little overnight risk, right? That's the reason why the traders, especially from the CTS side, have done extremely well this 2 months. Okay. There was a private question to me. Should have just asked in the chat. Okay. Do you trade multiple stocks simultaneously intraday or pa isa-isa lang? Okay. Bryan, maybe you have an opinion on this one. Ako personally kasi ako isa-isa lang ako eh.
Yeah, if you're trying it out, isa-isa lang muna. Then try to graduate from it and do it. Do two. And sometimes it depends on how many shows up. But the best thing to do is start with just one person. Try to feel it, how it works.
Ako personally, isa lang ako eh. I mean, I don't do a lot of intraday kasi. So when I'm looking at one, it's because I really, really like it and I think it's really in play. So usually to convince me to do intraday, it's very high. So when I do it, usually it's just one at a moment because I put full concentration on it.
Probably look for the best catalyst for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Guys, we've been trying to really push on the new website, and we'll be posting, especially Bryan will be posting all the super performance or the watch list stocks that CTS Global has been provided. In fact, if you look at my screen, they're all here, and we've been willingly give it to you guys. We don't mind. Okay. But just please be extra careful. I mean, these guys are all for trading, and obviously these are all in play because we like them for the short term. Okay. Very different also from how we approach it outside, right? So for example, like a stock, for example, like STA starts breaking out, ayan na. For us, it's no-brainers. You have to be watching these companies right away. Round 2 na nga to eh. This is from previous year's breakout. So for us, these are no-brainers. These are already in our watch lists, and you should be trying to find a way to participate, especially when the setups. These are easy money for us, guys. Easy money, okay? Try not to, how would I put it, complicate the situation, right? That's the reason why we're trying to do daily scalping and daily momentum, because we don't want to overcomplicate the situation, okay? I'll tell you, there will be a time where we will deploy a lot of capital, and I'll tell you, today is not the day, okay? Today is not the environment, but one day we will get there. And in the meantime, we try to maximize throughout all these short-term bursts that we can happen and daily stuff that we can happen every single day. Okay, so I wish you guys all the best. Hopefully you learn something new. Thanks, Bryan. I like your picture with Mayor Vico. Dapat yun yung profile pic mo.
Oo nga eh. Hindi ko na.
Okay,
everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.